Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Garden Zone 5A, 5B in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And tonight we're actually in the kitchen cooking. What you're seeing right now is ribeye. This was a large ribeye roast, well, not super large, a couple of pounds ribeye roast that I had. And what I did was I went ahead and sliced it up very thinly, about ½ inch thick slices and about 2 inches across. And then you add them to a pan with 3 tablespoons of butter. Melt the butter first. I set mine on 5 on my electric stove. I have an electric glass top stove. So then you add your butter. You get that all nice and warm and going. You salt and pepper your beef generously. So I just leave my beef on the cutting tray. And then I just salt and pepper it, leave it sitting for about 30 minutes, just sitting around on the tray. You just want those flavors to meld in together with the salt and the pepper, and just leave it sitting for 30 minutes and then add it to your butter. The 3 tablespoons of butter, I have it in a cast iron skillet. This is a 14-inch cast iron skillet. And then in a separate pan, this is my 10-inch cast iron skillet. You go in and you slice up, and I do like a ½ onion. I cut them in half. I get a large onion, cut it in half, thinly slice the onion so it is long pieces, and then add it to about a tablespoon of butter, and then slice up about 2 cups of mushrooms. You can use the white mushrooms, or you can use the Bella mushrooms, which is what I have here. And these were actually almost just gone mushrooms, but I just went ahead, sliced them up. They're still good, and got those added into the pan. And then you're going to fry those until the onions are basically turning translucent and the mushrooms are going to reduce in size. In the meantime, you're going to go ahead and get a pot of boiling water to going. And you're going to have a bag of egg noodles. So I just have a bag of really cheap egg noodles here, nothing fancy. I'm going to add about half a bag, and this is I believe this is a 32 ounce, nope, 12 ounce. This is a 12-ounce bag. So I add about half of this bag into the pot of boiling water. This is a pot that is a 4-quart pot. So it's not super huge. And I fill it up about 2/3 of the way with water. Get it to boiling, which we're just about ready to do. And then we're going to add a half bag of those noodles. And then in the meantime, when you're getting those boiled, which will take about 12 minutes to have them al dente, then you're going to go ahead and get another pot, a larger pot. This one is actually a 6-quart pot. Stainless steel. You can use any pot. It's a 6-quart. And you're going to make a roux. And to this pot, we added about 3 tablespoons of butter because I actually have a little bit more than what the recipe calls for. So I just upped it a little bit. So we've got 3 tablespoons of butter, and we have 2 tablespoons of flour. And we're just going to make sure that that is well blended and that it is all nice and cooking. We cut the heat down on this to about a 3. So this is our back burner. So we have it down to a 3. We're just going to cook that up a little bit. And to that, we're going to go ahead and add, it asks for 2 cups of beef stock. And this is our homemade. And this is exactly a pint, so it would be 2 cups. And we're just going to add this in. And then continue to stir it. Make sure when you're making the roux that you are stirring it the entire time so it doesn't burn. And this should thicken just a little bit, and we'll come back with the next step. And you want to boil this mixture, the roux, and for just a couple of minutes it'll start to boil. You can see there that the bubbles are rising up. And then to that, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of yellow prepared mustard. So you can see we have our mustard in there. Now I added a little bit extra because I actually increased the amount that I am making. So we have that going back to a boil now. We will stir our meat a little bit. Yes, I'm using the same spoon because I actually like for the flavors to mingle. And it looks like our mushrooms and onions are all good. So we did go ahead and turn those off. And to this roux, we're going to go ahead and add about a 1/4 cup of sour cream, which I'm adding just a little bit extra because, again, I increased the amount of the recipe. And as this sour cream cooks in this, it's actually going to go ahead and just mesh in with everything else, and it'll come out nice and creamy. And now that this is nice and mostly creamy, we're going to go ahead and add our meat and our mushroom and onions to the mixture. And now we have our meat and our mushrooms and onions all added into our roux, which is with sour cream and also with the prepared mustard. And now we have our noodles just about ready to go. And how we're going to serve this is just to get out some of those noodles. We're basically going to drain them, pull out some noodles, put them into a bowl, and then add our beef stroganoff right on top. And this is the best beef stroganoff recipe that I've ever had, and it literally just takes a few minutes to get it done. And then you have a meal for the whole family. And here you have the finished product. We've got our noodles all ladled out into our bowl. Let's go ahead and grab some of this delicious stuff. Our beef stroganoff, right here it is. Look at that, nice and chunky, beautiful onions, all that wonderful flavors. And there you have it. Beef stroganoff, you can also use green noodles. Green noodles just means that they are spinach noodles. So there you have it. Bon appetit, or as we say down south, dig in. It's delicious.